Today, we're diving into a really radical idea, a divine message. But it's not where you'd think to look. Not in some ancient scroll or way out in the stars. Nope, our source material suggests it's encoded right inside of us, in the very rhythm of our own bodies. Let's dig into this hidden blueprint.
You can feel it right now, can't you? Your heart beating. But what if that thump, thump is more than just, biology at work? What if it's actually a message? A form of communication. That's the big mystery we're going to unpack today.
Just think about it for a second. Everything that's keeping you alive, automatically, every single second that ticks by.
Every breath that fills your lungs.
And every single beat of your heart. You don't have to think about it, you don't give it permission, it just happens. But here's the kicker from our source material. Just because it's automatic doesn't mean it's random. It suggests there's a design behind it all.
So, where do we start looking for this design? Well, according to our source, it all begins with the engine of the body, the heart. The idea is that there's a hidden code, a pattern, literally embedded in its rhythm. And the very first key to cracking that code, it's the number 60. Now, I know what you're thinking, 60, that sounds pretty ordinary. But let's take a closer look at where it pops up in our biology. Okay, so check this out. 60 is kind of the backbone of our internal clock, right? 60 seconds in a minute. Your resting heart rate, a lot of the time, it's right around 60 beats per minute. And get this, it takes about 60 seconds for your blood to make one full trip through your entire body. It's like this perfect 1-minute loop of life, happening over and over and over again.
All right, so this is where things get really interesting. Our source connects the biology to theology through something called biblical numerology. And in that system, the number 6 is all about humanity, work, effort, us. And 10, that represents divine order. So what happens when you put them together? 6 times 10 is 60. The interpretation is that it symbolizes human life working perfectly within God's divine order. So in this view, your heartbeat isn't just a beat, it's this constant rhythmic reminder of that deep connection.
But wait, there's more. This pattern that the source is talking about, it's not just in the heart. It supposedly extends to our breath, and even our blood. It's like our whole body follows this kind of sacred mathematics.
Okay, so the next number we're looking at is 12, and this one has everything to do with the very air you're breathing right now.
Biologically, this is super straightforward. When you're just resting, the average adult takes somewhere between 12 and 20 breaths every minute. It's just another one of those simple, steady rhythms of life.
And when we go back to the numerology, wow, 12 is a total powerhouse in the Bible. It symbolizes perfect structure, divine authority. I mean, think about it. The 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 apostles. So the suggestion here is pretty mind-blowing, that even your unconscious breathing is following this ancient pattern of divine completeness.
All right, for our third clue, we're going deep, right into our lifeblood. And the number here is 5.
From a medical standpoint, this one's a gimme. The average adult body, it's got about 5 liters of blood in it. That's literally the volume of life that's keeping us going. Now, biblically, the number 5 is huge. It's tied directly to grace and God's favor. And the implication of that is, well, it's profound. The idea is that our very life, those 5 liters of blood pumping through our veins, exist inside a measure of divine grace.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got 60, 12, and 5. 3 key numbers. But how do they all fit together? Well, the argument is that they're not separate clues. They create this dynamic, living system of proof inside every single one of us.
Let's circle back to the heart for a second. Think about what it actually does, non-stop. It performs 3 crucial actions. 1, it beats. 2, it pumps. And 3, it delivers. Beats, pumps, delivers. That cycle never, ever stops.
So why is that important? Because in the Bible, the number 3 is the number of testimony, of divine confirmation. So the idea here is that the heart's constant threefold action is itself a living testimony to this divine design. It's like having a witness literally beating inside your chest. And this is where it all gets incredibly personal, because these numbers, they aren't set in stone. The argument is that our inner state, our emotions, can actually change them. You know this. When you feel fear, your heart races. When you feel at peace, it slows right down. Anger makes it go all irregular. But faith, our source suggests, is what brings the heart back into a balanced, harmonious rhythm. It means our spiritual health could be affecting this divine blueprint in real time.
So, what does all of this mean? Where is this all leading? Well, our source takes all these numbers, all these patterns, and brings them together into one single powerful idea, a divine signature.
The absolute core argument here is that this isn't random. The alignment of our biological rhythms with these specific sacred numbers, it's not a coincidence. It's being presented at an intentional, programmed order, a system that was designed with deep meaning right from the very beginning.
And that leads us to this really powerful idea from our source material. You know, so often people look for signs in the sky and the stars, but the suggestion here is that God has placed the sign right inside your chest. What if the most powerful, most constant sign isn't out there somewhere, but right in here?
So let's just pull it all together. The core idea is this. Your heartbeat, it's not just medical data. It's a divine calculation. Your breath, it's not just air. It's following a biblical pattern of completeness. And your blood, it's not just a fluid. It's flowing in a sacred measure of grace. Put it all together, and you have what the source calls a divine signature, YHWH signature, alive and pulsing inside you, every single moment.
And that really just leaves us with one final powerful question. If our bodies really are speaking, if they're constantly communicating this incredible message, the only question left is, are you listening?